Hey, this is King Firehawk from 1640 PWPR. Coming up, the Blind Tag Podcast, which is exclusive here to 1640 PWPR, the home of pro wrestling podcast radio and more.
World, once again, we've reached the blind tag, and man, we've been gone for a while.
So long.
Hi, everybody.
Anyway, we've been gone
so long.
It's been a while. We've been sick. There's some shit going on, but we're back. I am, of course, Big Dick Gideon alongside Kryim and Dante.
Hey.
And we're gonna go over the major issues because we tried to go over every single issue since we've been had our little hiatus. It would take fucking forever. So
we would be here for a while.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to go over the big issues first. It's good to be back. Everybody's healthy now. So, we were sick for a little while, but...
It was funny because, you went down, then Dante went down, and then I had a face that blew up like a lemon.
Yeah.
I didn't know lemons could blow up.
Oh,
they do.
They can.
I had a tooth abscess, and the side of my face was huge, and for some reason, Big Dick is like studying a lamp right now. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at a spider. Don't worry about it.
Why are you looking at... Stop worrying. Fucking spiders!
You fucking asked. Anyway. So, we'll go ahead and dive into one of the biggest ones, China passing away, of course. China was...
a couple weeks ago.
It was a couple weeks ago, but was a big figure in the Attitude Era, and to be honest... I don't think anybody had her on the death list.
No, she was definitely not in my death pool. Is when it popped up on my feed, because most when you're one of the boys in the industry, you tend to find out before news stations do.
Yeah.
So when it popped on my feed, rest in peace China, it hit before any of the other the dirt sheets hit. So I'm like, get the fuck out of here, really? And then.
Yeah,
and sure enough,
I'll be damned. I don't think anybody had that. Apparently, what did she die of? What was it, like a bad mixture of like pills, right?
Yeah, it was like antidepressants, Xanax. I mean, it was like a kind of like a.
It was a cocktail.
It was a cocktail.
That's what I was looking for. The cocktail.
I don't think, but it wasn't intentional,
no,
though, right?
No, it was almost like the same thing that happened with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think it was intentional.
But she had been a mess before that. Right after she died, somebody had posted one of her very last videos, and you could tell she was not okay.
Yeah.
In that video. And
demons.
It is.
Well, everybody's got demons. Wait, I need to adjust the mic.
Why are you so low?
No, you're not low. Here, gotta do the thing.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
Better?
We should be good.
Go.
Yeah, we're good.
Looking at the waves on the screen.
I had to fix some stuff. All right. Anyway,
all
but
right. Sorry, I probably sound like a mumble.
No, you should be alright. You just be very, very quiet.
They're gonna have to mess with their volume.
Bro.
Anyway,
what's Dante saying?
I don't know.
I gotta put my earbuds in.
She's whispering.
Whisper. It is a shame that she passed. It also, to me, it's a shame that she's gonna go in the Hall of Fame next year. But you know what? It fucking sucks that she had to die to fucking go there.
It's a hollow...
Yeah, exactly.
A very hollow victory.
Yeah.
In my opinion, because this came up last year or the year before, China was actually politicking to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
She actually has a legit point to being in there.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
But, Triple H had said on record that, he wasn't sure how he would feel if a porn star got into...
And yet, Sonny...
Well, here's the thing. Sonny got into porn way after she got her...
His quote was, I don't want my daughter to find out.
Yeah. But, Sonny got into porn after, she got into Hall of Fame. So I mean, like it's very hypocritical. And then when you hear what what they say after she passes about, oh, she was a pioneer. She definitely should go in.
Talking out both sides of their mouth.
Yeah.
Real quick though, when did Sonny go into the Hall of Fame?
A couple years ago, about 6 years ago.
Okay, well, she was doing Wrestling Vixens back in 2003, so that was before she went into the Hall of Fame.
Okay, so she was posing nude, but she wasn't doing porn.
Her and Missy were doing stuff together on video.
I don't know.
I know.
Okay.
I was part of the website.
All right.
So I'm telling you that she was doing stuff before she got her ring. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, how come one can get it and the other one can't?
Yeah, I never really understood that.
It doesn't make any... You can't. That's very hypocritical. And I'm not slamming Tammy. She has enough of her own shit to do that with. But what I'm saying is what's good for one should be... she should be in it too.
Yeah. I mean, she was an original member of the Generation X. I mean, you one of the pioneers of the Attitude Era.
I want you to think about this now. Half of the original incarnation of D-Generation X is dead.
Yeah.
That's a true thing. Half of the original incarnation of DX is dead.
Yep. But hopefully she rests in peace, and our thoughts are with her family and everything.
It's a bone of contention for me because Dante's right. She's probably going to get into the Hall of Fame next year, and in my opinion, she should. Okay, this is going to sound bad, but she shouldn't.
No.
Because you shouldn't give it to somebody just
because they died.
They died.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't going to do it before, why the fuck are you going to do it after?
Well,
they did it with Randy.
Yeah. Well, here's the
Randy
question.
was going to go in.
No, he had a lot of heat with WWE. And then afterwards, Randy went in.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Okay? Because this happens all the time, right? Yeah, Chyna died, and she's probably going to go in the Hall of Fame. You could ask the same thing. Would Heath Ledger have gotten the Best Actor award for the Joker if he didn't die?
That's a good question.
That's
I mean, again, it's for some fucking reason when people die.
I don't remember who was up for the awards that year.
I don't remember either, but I know that there were there's some serious names. There's always serious names, so it's like something happens when people die that you want to honor them all the time, which is fine. But we have to remember that these people are not saints, nor were they ever.
Yeah.
Saints weren't saints. If you actually look into the history of what made a saint.
Yeah.
But
you good Catholic boys.
But in my opinion, if you didn't want to put Chyna in for her, for what she did for the business didn't change because she died.
Yeah.
Okay. If you were going to put her in a couple years ago, why bother putting her in because she's dead?
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Of course.
That bothers me.
Again, you're talking out of both sides of your mouth when you do that. Let's talk about Bobby for a second. Apparently, he had a bit of a fall
a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
a couple weeks ago, and he was in the hospital.
Yeah, he had a fall and he wasn't doing well, and obviously Bobby has his failing health. Bobby Heenan, by the way.
Yes, Bobby Heenan.
He has his failing health, and we kind of wish him well. But yeah, he has since gotten out of the hospital. And interesting little tidbit: apparently, some dirt sheets were reporting that he died. Okay. And his wife had to take to their Twitter account saying that no, he is not dead.
That'll be a sad day.
That is going to be a sad day.
That's going to be a fucking sad day. Make it talk.
We talked about this when we saw that video of him at the convention, and it looked like
it didn't even look like him.
Didn't even look like him anymore. He doesn't have a jaw because he doesn't have a jaw.
Yeah.
And how awful is it that one of the best talkers in the industry's history can't talk anymore?
It's a fucking travesty.
What bothers me the most is Vince has billions that he just fucking sits on, and Bobby helped make fucking a bunch of but you can't fucking help that dude out with bills.
Yeah.
Fucking just give him a fucking plastic jaw so he doesn't look like he's surprised all the fucking time. Look, okay.
That's good. Jesus Christ, you're going to hell.
Oh, yeah.
You're a bad person.
A bad man. Well, he does. He looks like his mouth is always agape because he doesn't have a jaw. So I'm surprised. It's always his birthday.
You're going to hell.
So bad.
WWE doing an all women's tourney?
Yeah, there's rumor because they're obviously WWE is going to be doing a cruiserweight
no
tournament.
shit.
Yeah, they're doing a World Cruiserweight Championship, so they're grabbing cruiserweights from all over the globe.
Oh,
like
that's
that,
cool.
not necessarily. None of them work for WWE, so you get some from work England, some work for come out from California, Japan, China, India, and stuff like that. So they're talking about, since there's a lot of hype going in for this cruiserweight thing, that they're going to actually try to go for a women's world thing, because
cool.
there's a lot of fucking hype on the women's division now.
That's cool. That'd be pretty. Oh yeah. So let's talk about this for a bit. There was a lot of releases that happened in the past week and a half or so.
A lot of them have us scratching our heads.
Well, I would say one has me scratching my head, but pretty much the rest are fine. Like you all these releases, you had Cameron, which isn't a surprise.
Zeb Coulter,
that's not a surprise. Who else? You had
Alex Riley,
that's actually not that big of a surprise.
Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle surprise. I'm surprised he was even there still.
The little matador bull guy. Yeah.
El Dorito, yeah.
El Torito's gone.
El Dorito.
Well, yeah, they got rid of the midgets.
They tossed the midgets. They tossed the midgets. And to be honest, I think the one release that had a soul scratcher was Damien Sandow. They released Damien Sandow, and I will never understand. The man was over every single time he stepped into the ring.
Yeah.
And they just didn't want him.
And no matter what gimmick they threw at him, he played it awesomely. I mean, first it was he came out doing almost like the genius gimmick.
Yeah.
And then for whatever reason they had him stop doing that, which was perfect for him. I mean, the way he would hold the microphone.
As a brandy snifter.
Yeah. I mean, it was brilliant. And then all of a sudden he started coming out like they would go to each town and he would come out as like their top sports star or something. Like he would come out as a basketball player one night.
They
He'd
tried
come
to
out as a hockey player, and he would play it to a T.
Like they tried to bury him with these gimmicks. It's clear that they were trying to bury him with these gimmicks.
And then the thing with being Mrs. Stunt Double was
Mrs. Stunt Double was over.
So over.
It was too over, and that was, I think, what the problem was. They didn't expect it to go over to the point where he was more over than Miz, which was supposed to be the top guy.
Well, I don't know.
And
I mean,
sometimes they don't appreciate the other guy outshining the one that he's supposed to be the underling to.
Well, you know what? Be better. Okay? I'm sorry. It's not that Miz is bad at what he does. He's not. He's very good.
They had to bring Maurice back to help get Miz over.
But it's not that Miz is bad at what he does. But you know what? No, he's not that great. And Damien Sandow is better.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with that.
Yeah.
I can understand why they let him go. From a business standpoint, they're not going to use him.
They don't have anything.
They don't have anything for you. Let him go because he's just fucking sucking up money. Yeah. I get it from a business standpoint. What I don't understand
from a talent standpoint,
knowing that he's over whenever he steps out there, and you don't pull the trigger. What are you not pulling? What is it? Explain to me. Yeah. Explain to me somebody who's not business minded. Okay, because I don't know run $1 billion company.
Come on.
What is it about that I can't understand? That you don't want to capitalize on this guy's popularity.
There had to be somebody else on the roster that they could have let go. Yeah. Instead of Sandow. I mean, there's a bunch that are just sitting with their thumbs up their ass anyway.
Well, these are people who haven't been on TV for months, haven't really done anything, and I understand that. Like, if you're not doing anything, fucking let them go.
Yeah. I get it, and I'm with you there. Like, what is it about Sandow? Do they just genuinely not like? Yeah. Because that's the only legit reason at this point. It can't be the money. I know he couldn't possibly be making that much money.
Right.
So they couldn't. It's not a money thing. What is it about Sandow that they dislike so much? That is the only thing that can be.
Yeah, I want to know what it is. This is
That's a shoot interview I want to listen to.
Did you not hear the crowd?
Yeah.
When
they were in 2 years ago in that fucking battle royale when it was Sandow and fucking Miz and fucking Big Show, okay, the fucking crowd went bananas.
Yeah,
go bananas.
Yeah.
Okay, that place was going ape shit, and they just buried him.
And him getting tossed out. We sat there and like, well, that's the end of that was the end, and we knew it was the end.
Yeah,
but. You hear that crowd, and then the next day you see him come out, And then you know what they did the ultimate the Mega Maniacs.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
That was hilarious. And then Hulk Hogan had to go and fuck that up.
Yeah.
But still, like you heard how over this guy is.
Yeah.
Could you? I want you to close your eyes. Everybody, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Look.
All right. Come on.
Now I want you to imagine New Day comes out, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna get their newest member of the New Day. Out comes Sandow. You're telling me that wouldn't be over like fucking free beer?
That would work. That would have worked.
Yeah, right? Like, I need Sandow. He just goes, so I needed the money. And then he just comes out and does whatever New Day does. Are you kidding me? Over like, dude, I'm booking this.
It's like, the problem with Sandow, well, not the problem with Sandow. I think that, WWE is starting to have the same problems that WCW had. And WCW had a problem with people getting over by themselves. Mm-hmm. They had a real problem with it because I remember watching an interview with Chris Jericho, and he told him because he was in the cruiserweight, he was a cruiserweight. He said, you were put out there to have good matches, and don't you dare get over, or they put the fucking screws to you, and they would just bury you. Like, I'm telling you, if they don't want you over, they don't want you over. So, like, WWE is making the same mistakes.
They resented CM Punk for the how over he was. They did the same thing with Daniel Bryan. I mean, yeah.
They reluctantly gave Daniel Bryan the belt, but I think you're right, 100% right. If you get over without them telling you to get over, then they bury you. Look what happened to Zack Ryder.
I was just about to say. I'm like, look what happened to poor Zack Ryder.
Fuck Dolph Ziggler.
Poor Dolph. Okay,
I mean,
look at what happened to Zack Ryder. He went over at WrestleMania for the IC title in a ladder match, and the crowd loved it.
And what happened?
And then he lost it the following fucking night, and now he's not even on television anymore.
He wasn't even in the pay-per-view match. Yeah. For the next pay-per-view match, he's not even in the Fatal 4-Way that's coming up for the pay-per-view.
Like, what is it? What about his rider do they not like? What is it? I don't understand.
There's a couple.
Look at Bray Wyatt. How does Bray Wyatt not have a strap yet?
I don't know.
How does a Bray Wyatt not have a fucking strap yet?
They're trying to figure out. They're talking about them having this big comeback, so they're trying to repackage how they're going to push the family.
I mean, I understand they're hurt right now. Yeah. Okay, but like beforehand, how does Bray Wyatt not have the Intercontinental title?
Intercontinental or U.S. title? U.S. title is the lowest rung. Yeah. You tell me that Bray Wyatt can't do fucking some awesome shit with
a strap. And just
anyone, anyone of the fucking, he can fucking win the women's division strap.
Yeah.
And you know what? You buy into it. Yeah. You sit there and listen to him.
Yeah. Because you have this. He wouldn't even wear it. I bet you would just drag it. He would just drag it down the ramp.
How are they not? How is the Wyatt family not tag team champions? Yeah. How have they not been tag team champions for a while?
They've never even touched on it.
Not even close. Like the Wyatt family, I think would be fantastic. I think they kind of brushed on it with the New Day. It would be a fantastic fucking feud back and forth.
Yeah,
I think that would be great. But once again, it's the WWE wants to be people to get over who they want to get over, and don't you goddamn do it by yourself.
Yeah, don't you do it by yourself. But I would say the New Day and the Wyatt family would not work together in a feud. That wouldn't work.
I do. I think it would.
I don't, because the New Day is very, they're very lighthearted. They just are. Yeah. Okay. And the Wyatt family are not. So it's very, very... Yeah, you want to feud with somebody that's opposite you, but that's very, very polar opposite. I don't think you can pull that off.
I think you could. I disagree. I think you could. Especially the promos.
Well, I have no faith in the WWE writers right now to try to even pull that off.
Well,
but yeah, so let's talk about Adam Rose for a second.
Oh, that poor bastard.
This guy, if you haven't heard, he got arrested.
First
he was suspended.
His bad luck when he got suspended for Adderall.
That he had a prescription
for. Which he does have a prescription for. They do know he's on it, so he's fighting his suspension, and in that spiraled him
to have a domestic against his wife. Now, the details have come out that it wasn't really a domestic. He didn't hit her. Okay.
No, he knocked the phone out of her hand.
Yeah, he did not hit her. Okay, but at the same time,
got to ask questions.
You have to ask questions, absolutely. But it's unfortunate because they're clearly trying to get rid of him. And they didn't have an ironclad reason, and now they do.
Yeah, it's a matter of... here's what happened. I could tell you exactly what happened. He got frustrated because... he's saying that, they knew about it a year prior.
He has a prescription.
I have prescription a year prior. Now he's frustrated at home. Yeah. They probably got into an argument over something, some heated bullshit. They both said something nasty, and he probably was just like, knock it the fuck off. And
he probably just blew up a little bit.
Probably shoved her, maybe knocked the phone away, whatever the fuck it was. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't fucking uberly fucking pound your face violent.
She even went in front of the judge and said, please, don't put him away. It wasn't as blown out of proportion as that they were making. I mean, domestic violence is domestic violence. Yeah. Nobody should go after anybody for any reason.
True, but
I mean, even though we talk about, sometimes you gotta ask questions. But in this circumstance, it was just he's at his. And if he's on Adderall, you already know he's got ADHD problems.
Yeah.
So if he can't take his medication right now because that's part of his suspension with the WWE is that he's not allowed to be on it. It's gonna fuck with him.
Yeah.
And when they're not on their medication, they don't know how to, calm themselves. They don't. So maybe he was self-medicating with maybe alcohol, and that's what led to an argument.
Yeah.
Or who knows?
It could be a number of things. I mean, think about it.
We're not in their house. We don't know what happened.
He finally started having a gimmick that was starting to go somewhere. I thought the Social Outcasts were going to be fucking.
Nah.
It was in my opinion, it was better than any of their other previous gimmicks.
Yeah.
Okay. I was more entertained watching the four of them interact than I have watching the four of them try to flounder with a gimmick individually.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was clearly a step above where he was.
Yeah.
So and now all of a sudden, due to this fucking suspension, now that gets taken away from him. So yeah, there was probably a lot of fucking frustration going home.
Yeah, I do feel bad for him. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be surprised if he released.
Speaking of frustrated, Ryback.
Yeah, I'm just about to segue into that. Fucking Ryback. Here's my problem with Ryback. Okay, now if you haven't heard, he's pretty much off television there, and they're probably just going to let his contract run out. Which I would say, good riddance. Okay,
I love watching him
because
kinda.
he's boring as shit.
Weep.
He's sitting there complaining that doesn't have a better position in the company. Well, you know what, Ryback?
He wants equal money.
Yeah, he wants all this. He wants all these fucking perks and shit like that. You know what, Ryback? I'm sorry. You're a nice guy, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, you're not a very good wrestler.
You're not that guy. You're not the face of the company. You're not the one. You're not the one that's going out there and doing all the public appearances.
No,
and
no one's calling for you, Ryback. No one. I don't even understand your gimmick.
Yeah, feed me more.
What?
I guess you feed me more wrestling.
Is it like feed the ego? Maybe
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it started with like feed me more, and they would get he'd put them in double handicap matches, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, and they were great
because that was getting him over, and that made sense.
And then they stopped doing that, and they the problem is when you give somebody a Goldberg or a Monster like push,
eventually they gotta lose.
They gotta lose, and then that loses the fucking mystique because somebody beat you.
Just like Rusev.
Yep. Another one. Fucking Rusev was another one. You fucking who's gonna beat him? And they fed him to Cena.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they should have fed him to somebody younger, like Aaron Neville or something like that.
Yes,
Aaron Neville. Neville.
You got to get the
Aaron Neville.
He
comes out. He can't understand a goddamn promo he does.
I'm gonna get that tattoo, baby. Anyway, but Ryback's probably gonna be gone within the next month or so, and we're probably not gonna even see him on television. So
he's gonna be into the Impact Zone.
Yeah. What's Ryback doing back in the Impact Zone? So Enzo. Enzo had a really bad injury at the Payback pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to be a final qualifier for the tag team titles, and it was just a freak accident. I don't really believe it was anybody's fault.
I watched the video again, and what happened was when he was thrown towards the ropes to go out, he was thrown too close, and it was almost like he wanted to go through the middle rope, but he was too close, and he tried to slide under.
Yeah,
and he kind of smacked his head, and then smacked again when he got out of the ring.
It's kind of like he wasn't sure whether he should can himself or do a baseball slide.
Yeah.
Right,
he did both at the same time.
But if you also look at it, when he's being tossed towards the ropes, he's already too close to the ropes.
He's like almost 3/4 of the way there.
He was going to get fucked either way.
Yeah.
And he was trying to decide which is going to hurt me less. And I guess he chose wrong.
Both at the same time.
But he's still quite green to the business, so that
Stop.
That happens, you know?
He did smack his head. He did get a concussion. Let me tell you something. Big Cass was really upset.
He was.
He was very upset.
He was very emotional.
Yeah, he wanted his buddy to be okay. He's going to be okay. I imagine that he'll be back at the Extreme Rules.
I think the Kevin Owens selfie.
Yeah, he'll be
the
fine.
Selfie bomb was really funny from the hospital.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
But wow, could Vince have pushed Cass any harder this past Monday?
They didn't want him to. Well, that's
it was the Big Cass show.
Yeah.
He was on 3 times, and Eddie from Shining Wizards, man, he had it right. Can we push him? Can we push him now? Let's push him now.
He's a big guy. We can do that. Look at his muscles.
I like his muscles.
7 foot tall.
I would say the reason they did that is because they don't want people. They don't want to lose their heat, right? The fucking Enzo and Big Cass, they were over.
Yeah.
So they don't want him to lose it. So they want to keep him relevant. Mm-hmm. Okay, so keep Big Cass out there, make people talk about Big Cass, and then they'll talk about Enzo when he comes back. Mm-hmm. So I can understand them wanting to keep their heat. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's probably why they're doing that. And he's going to be fine. Like I said, he'll probably be back. They'll do a run-in, I imagine, on the Extreme Rules.
Run-in, or he'll walk out Cass for something. Or
yeah.
Either way, he should be on camera.
And they're taking the concussion things very, very serious now because of past workers that have residual effects from their concussion stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know what? Keep going.
Okay, it's gone.
It's all right.
You all right?
No, it smells like somebody farted in here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you did?
I thought,
okay. I was just making sure.
Can you warn us, please?
Yeah, a little heads up, brother.
I'm sitting here going, what the fuck?
What died?
What died? And you just don't go up your ass and die this time?
Anyway, I have Eric Young.
Oh, Eric Young fucking came to fucking NXT as well as Bobby Roode. So I mean, it's like TNA is sending their best players to NXT.
It's the slowest invasion ever.
Exactly,
slowest invasion angle ever.
Yep.
And eventually, soon it's going to be, why is nobody in the Impact Zone?
Yeah, what?
Dixie Carter's waiting for her call up.
No, Buyback will be there.
Buyback
and Bulk Bogan.
What's Bulk Bogan doing in the Impact Zone?
Here's some piece of weird news. Paige and fucking Del Rio are dating, apparently.
Well, according to those Disney photos.
Weird.
You don't kiss each other like that.
Not like that. If your friends don't kiss like that.
It's so weird. God, I mean, the more I think about it,
she's only like 23.
Yeah. He's 38. She's 23.
That's.
You know what? That's legal. Like
I love you and I have a 10-year difference.
Right.
Okay.
But I don't begrudge him. I don't begrudge him.
I'd be mad at him.
No, I don't. Yeah.
I look at from what we know.
I thought he was still married.
I look from what we know of them on TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Visually,
they couldn't be
any more different. Yeah. Like because I don't know if he's a fucking hard rocker. He's into fucking.
No, I don't know. I actually don't know anything about him.
I don't know anything about him.
That also goes like the Barrett and Alicia Fox.
Yeah, Barrett and Alicia Fox dated for a while.
Who would have thought that was? Nobody knew that was a couple, and that's not something you would see coming either.
True, but at the same time, like Barrett has had that that stuffy look, and Alicia Fox has kind of got that model-esque thing. So you can kind of see them two together. These are like as much oil and water as they look.
The Gothling with the
to be fair, I mean,
Hispanic.
We all know that he's.
He's hung like a mule.
You can't miss it.
Yeah.
I mean,
he really likes wrestling.
Could the tights get any tighter?
Jesus Christ!
Something tells me he loves climbing the turnbuckle.
There's an anaconda in there, isn't it?
Fucking smuggling juggling balls. She's fucking Christ. Anyway,
he's always got an arrow in his trunks pointing to his left
what's
shoulder.
What's going on? Yeah.
it's just he's got a rocket in there.
It's just ready to try to just poke its head out at any time. It's like, hey, what's going on out there?
Last piece of news we got. Apparently the trial of CM Punk going through UFC is not going very well. People are saying that while he's training hard, he doesn't seem to have the knack of a fighter. and he people are sort of basically saying the first opponent that he's supposed to have is probably going to run straight through him.
I'm not surprised.
I am a little bit. I mean,
I'm not. Like, you can't just, I mean, like, I'm not sure if he expected to just pick it up, but just because you're a wrestler, you can't expect to just pick up MMA. I can't expect as a wrestler to be like, oh, I should be good at boxing.
Yeah, no.
No, that's not how it works.
Yes.
Like, I'm pretty sure he probably has a good grasp on what MMA is, and he's probably followed the sport for a long time.
You can have a grasp on something, but
you can't, and it's not necessarily going to make a transition.
Doesn't make you Brock Lesnar.
Exactly. Like,
Okay.
you know... I played Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That doesn't make I'm good in boxing.
Yeah,
you know?
I would say the thing is, here's his problem. If MMA doesn't work out, if UFC doesn't work out, I don't see him coming back to wrestling.
He doesn't need the money anyway.
Yeah,
he could do circuits. I mean, like he was writing or collaring for Marvel for like a hot second.
That's true. Yeah,
I mean, he has plenty of things he can do, but I think it would be a huge blow to his credibility if he didn't make a UFC debut.
Yeah, if he doesn't make a debut,
yeah.
I mean,
like, look,
then Vince can be like, "I'll let you work for me."
He ran his mouth so much about how he was going to do the MMA thing, and then for him, I think that would be. I think right now he's trying to decide which is going to hurt his ego more: going in there and getting his ass handed to him, or just backing out and going, I think I bit off a little more than I could chew, and I thought I could do it.
I would respect that.
He was just recently out with a back injury due to his training, so. And we know that he's had history of back issues, so who really fucking knows? Maybe they're saying he can't hack it because of the injuries.
And that's possible. I mean, he got beat up in WWE, that's for sure. Yeah. And, the thing is, he had his surgeries and everything like that while he was training, so I was like, you know what? I would respect him more if he said, you know what? This isn't for me. And that's okay. Yeah, it's not for everybody, okay?
Yeah, you can't.
But
just because Bobby Lashley could do it, that doesn't mean,
Bobby Lashley came from MMA to wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't, like, I'm saying this like I'm fucking an expert, but to me it seems like it's easier to make a transition from MMA to wrestling versus wrestling to MMA.
See, I would think the reverse would be different because I think it's harder to not hurt somebody and look like you are than it is to actually go out there and try to hurt them.
Well, remember Doug, who came up to school for a little while, who he's now out at Santino Brothers in California.
Yeah, he's doing well out there.
Very good. But when he first came in, he came from an MMA background. And remember, he kept having a hard time going, you're telling him to hit, and he's like, I don't want to hit you because I'm going to hurt you. And, and you're just telling him, you just have to learn how to re-gauge your hits. And that's I'm glad, because he did get discouraged up here, and I'm glad when he did go out to California, he did do the MMA thing, and he did quite well at it, but then found that the wrestling was a little bit more for him, and is really going far with that.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job out there. His name's Douglas James.
Yep.
I know he wrestles for Santino Brothers. I know he does... a couple. I can't remember the name of the feds out there, but if you're ever out there and you see Douglas James out there, give him a look at. He's very talented.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to Punk though, I would respect him if he said, you know what, I this is not something that I could do. I thought I could do it, and he backed out. I would say it would be bad for the UFC if he were to go out there to this big premiere and just get shit tossed.
No,
okay? I think that would be bad for the UFC.
No, because they did the same thing with Kimbo Slice. Everybody thought Kimbo Slice was going to be this bad motherfucker, and then what they did, they kept
bums.
Yeah, all he could do is beat up bums. They gave him a couple trash matches, and then they threw Tank Abbott at him. And if you watch the match between him and Tank Abbott takes the fucking fall.
Does he?
Okay, yeah, you can tell he takes the fucking fall.
Yeah.
And then they fucking put Kimbo Slice against a legit fucking fighter. Not even fucking close.
I remember he got knocked out. Yeah.
It wasn't even knocked out. He tapped him out.
Oh.
It was over. Like, he put, that's great. You can swing hard and you can fucking knock a motherfucker out, but I'm going to grab you and then I'm going to put you in a fucking hold and it's lights out.
Yeah.
Volcano Mike found that out when you did that to him.
Yeah. And, you go up against a legit grappler. If you don't know how to grapple and you go, no, son, no. I'm going to bend you in ways I want to bend you. No, that's so... So they had all this money invested in Kimbo Slice because, oh my god, it's
Kimbo Slice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when was the last time you heard Kimbo Slice's name?
Yeah.
Right, just now.
I would say, I actually felt bad for Kimbo Slice. To
Why?
be honest. Because he was, he was a victim of circumstance. He had nothing to do.
He was exploiting him.
Yeah, I don't think he had anything to do with those fix-ups. I think he just went out there and expected to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't think I honestly don't think he knew about any of the backroom shit. I honestly don't believe he did. And when he went up against a legit fighter, he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
They did not prepare him, and he got his shit kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's again, that's why I feel bad, because he wasn't prepared. They didn't prepare him right.
Yeah.
He was the gimmick of the moment, and let's
and they cashed
exploit
in.
it, and yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that I remember reading up on him, and everybody was like, "Oh, I want him to see him in the UFC," and the people who were legitimately all about the UFC were like, "He'd get killed.
Yeah.
He will get killed against legit fucking fighters." Because there was one of those backyard matches that he did that he actually went up against like this cop or something that was an MMA dude, and they had to kind of pull each other apart because he wasn't going down to Kimbo's fucking punches, and he was doing knees and shit like that, and that's I guess that was against the rules of whatever this backyard contest was. But it was at that point you realize he can't fucking handle UFC, and to me there's nothing wrong with it. Honestly, I would love to see him do like what was it, like the tough man competitions, like Butterbean used to.
Yeah,
the fucking just legit fucking just punching.
Yeah,
sure. I think him versus Butterbean in his prime. Are you kidding me?
That'd be great.
Just two guys just fucking slugging the shit out of each other.
Oh, Butterbean.
Everybody remember that? Remember Bart Gunn getting knocked the fuck out?
Oh my god.
So let us take a walk down memory lane and let me regale you with the story.
What was the?
It was called the Brawl for All.
That's it.
Back in like '97 or so,
Yeah.
and WWF was doing. They were trying to get the MMA hype, and they were doing this thing called the Brawl for All, and basically they were putting the wrestlers in like it was like a boxing ish matches.
I also think that they chose to do that to try to show that wrestling was a little bit more legit than what they were trying. Because remember, that was just as the time where the internet was starting to come out and dirt sheets were everywhere, and all kayfabe was starting to fade away.
And they were trying to keep
Vince
kayfabe.
was struggling to keep the secrecy there. So let's show them how legit we are. Let's put our guys up against real fighters. And
they put their guys against their guys and just had them slug it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Now they had Bradshaw, and he was he beat the shit out of some people.
Yeah.
Like I watched him. I mean,
Bradshaw is like legit.
Yeah,
man.
Bradshaw was legit. They also had Bart Gunn. Now Bart Gunn. Okay,
he could throw a punch.
He could throw a punch,
boy.
and he ended up like hooking a couple people, and everyone, watch out for the left hook of Bart Gunn. But near the end of the tournament, you could start to tell that it was starting to become a work.
Yeah.
And what happened was they built it up because the winner of the Brawl for All would then go on to face Butterbean at WrestleMania for the everything for the Brawl for All. Well, okay, I don't think they told Bart Gunn that it wasn't a work. Because Butterbean just beat the shit out of him from bell to bell.
To a round and a half, maybe?
A round and a half, and then there was a point where Bart Gunn gets he gets knocked out. Now, when I say knocked out, folks at home, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice. What I want you to do is automatically take your arms and put them in front of your body. Limp. So you're trying to make your shoulders touch. Just limp like that, and then fall to your right hand side. Don't do that, but imagine if that happens. That's the type of knockout that happened.
Fucking lights out.
He was out before he hit the fucking canvas.
You know what?
Heads are not supposed to turn in that direction.
There was just no resistance. He just fell like a sack of shit, and man,
he knocked him out,
man. But. Anyway,
it was. If you guys go back and check it,
it's on YouTube. Just look up Butterbean fucking knockout.
Bart Gunn.
Bart Gunn.
Butterbean Bart Gunn.
It's not long. It ain't long.
It doesn't last long.
About 2 minutes.
Because the first one is like
a
Bart Gunn
Tyson
running for his
fight.
life. He's taking fucking punches and running for his life.
He almost goes down, but he doesn't. Yeah.
And then, I think, they rang the bell and Bart Gunn's sitting down and he's probably talking to the trainer like, oh, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And then...
The thing is, I don't think it was supposed to be a work. I think Butterbean is just a fucking...
Monster.
Was a monster.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to Bart Gunn, of course. But, Like, that's what I think. And he was just a big old fucking fat tank that just fucking rolled up in there and like, oh god.
Bart Gunn didn't look ready. He just like he did like he was looked like he was going to try to dance around for like a round or two, and no,
we don't do this here.
we don't like it was like they did like they shorted Butterbean on fucking Payday or something like well, we're going real.
Also, maybe Bart Gunn just didn't take it serious.
It's true too.
That's possible too.
Yeah, probably didn't.
Maybe he didn't think that fat guy was going to be able to hurt him or do anything to him, and he didn't take it serious.
Dude's name is Butterbean.
Yeah, and what happened to Bart Gunn after that? He went to Japan and never heard from again.
Yeah, he just went away. But that's all we have for today. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We will be back consistently now. Nobody else is sick or anything like that, so don't worry about that.
We are going to be away this coming weekend. So
That's true. Maybe I can do it by myself.
If you want to do it, you could do it Sunday, or because we'll be home Sunday night sometime, so maybe Monday.
We can do Monday.
Yeah, we can do it Monday.
We'll do it Monday.
Fuck it, we'll do it live!
But
We'll be back.
you guys won't know what day we do it.
We've tried that.
You guys are not going to know what day we do it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a day for you guys.
Yeah.
Time traveling. We does it.
But anyway, for Kryim.
That's me.
And for Dante.
Me.
I'm Big Dick Gideon, and we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.